I'm now going to invite our third partnership, Samali and Georgina. And as they come up, come along, ladies. As they come up, when I look at these two ladies, the stars. They refuse to quit. Over to you, ladies.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be doing the first part of the presentation, and then Samali will finish the last part. Okay. As it appears there on the slide, I'm the principal of Malerato Primary School, and I started my teaching around 1985, and then I joined Malerato Primary School in 1987. For those years, I started to be the deputy principal from 1997, which is plus minus 16 years, and then in 2015 I became the principal. As I became the principal in 2015, I heard of Partners for Possibility, and then I decided that because I'm new and then I don't know anything much about leadership, I think it will be better for me to improve my skills and join the program. So I joined the program in order to enhance my leadership skill, to improve my management styles so that my school become one of the best in Mutlagen Township. Well, that is my school. I'm going to say a little bit about Samali. Samali is an independent consultant. She works independently for private companies and also for public companies. And then I think she also joined the program for the same reasons as I joined, to contribute to the enhancement of education in our country. Now, my school is one of those no-fee schools, and then as a result, we have a lot of challenges. Since parents are not paying school fees at our school, we have challenges of renovating, of improving the schools. Now, the challenges that we have facilities like the classrooms were not well, conducive for learning. Some of the classrooms, they were, leaking when it was raining. We never had a school hall. We don't have a library. We don't have a computer center. Actually, we had the Gauteng Online, which was later called Gauteng Offline. And then we also don't have a laboratory. And then the office staff room was inadequate, and then we couldn't sit properly whenever we had a meeting. Now, that is Malerato Primary School. We don't have a hall, and then that is the area where we held our assembly. When it's hot, we had to stand there, and pray, because that's what we always wanted to do. Now, this is the challenge, one of the classrooms, how they looked like before I joined the partnership, and that is the staff room on the other side. This is the school grounds where the learners are supposed to play football, so it also needed some renovations. These are the challenges that we had. Now, we were donated books, thanks to Dina for doing that, by Quali Books. We had a portable library which assisted. These are some of the things that we got, assisted in enhancing learners' reading, assisting at our school, replacing, or taking place for the library that we didn't have. And then we also received chairs and tables, a donation from Sulap, the one that assisting us with renovations of our toilets. And we also erected a shelter where we can hold our assembly when it's too hot, so that learners do not stand out in the rain. And then in the middle of August, we started with the renovation of our classrooms. I think that slide will come later on. Now, this is our classrooms currently. That's what we have done. And then we also had a shelter. We built a shelter. That is the shelter that we built because we couldn't afford to build the hall. So we temporarily built this shelter. And then those are the chairs that were donated to us in order to increase the number of chairs in our staff room. We are still planning to have a library. That's one other thing. We are still getting the mini library that we had donated by Tina assists in ensuring that learners, they can read, educators can read and do all the other things. I will now give over to Samali to continue with the benefits of the program.
Thank you very much, Georgina. Well, you know, coming into a program like this, you don't know how daunting it can be, because you find a school that has so many problems, and you even wonder how the students are supposed to learn, or is it the learners are supposed to learn? So, but what we did is we tried. We realized that the little that you can do, goes a long way. So, some of the things that we realized at the end of this journey was that for Georgina, she told me that from me, the interactions together, she learned humility. Apparently, I did show up very much like that. Then also I did help her to learn how to develop work plans and presentations, which is a skill that she believes she didn't have enough of before. And about herself, she learned to exercise patience. She did say that originally when things weren't working, or she's given someone a task and they're not doing it properly, she'd just take it upon herself to do it because she didn't have the patience for the other person to learn. But these are some of the things that she has learned. She's learned to be patient and get people, give them the work to do and let them do it. Let them make their mistakes and let them learn from that. But she's taking away from this whole program is enhanced leadership skills. There's what she believes. She has done a lot of that, actually. I can vouch for her on that one. Just being a patient leader alone is a big shift. Okay. And asking her what trainings impacted her, time to think is a big one. Apparently before, whenever she had staff meetings, she'd be running her staff meetings by pretty much giving information. And she'd be the provider, the staff would be the recipients. But after time to think, one of the skills that she learned
it's 19 hours.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, so now after the 19 hours, oh good. What Georgina has done is when she's during staff meetings, she will question the staff. She doesn't provide the solutions to them. She just runs her staff meetings by asking questions, and they must think. So she's told that. So she finds that was really a very important part of the training that she did, and community building. Okay, and from that she has learned to identify problems more succinctly, and it's so that and breaking them down into small pieces where instead of having to eat the whole elephant, you just go bit by bit. And as for me, from the program, again, like I have to say that going into a school where you see they have a lot of problems or a lot of challenges. For example, for me, one of the things that stood out very much was, how do learners learn without a library? Where are you going to get the books? How are you going to get them interested in reading, which is really one of the main reasons why people succeed in education? You've got to like to read. So what stood out for me was that Georgina had such resilience and her staff, because despite these problems, they still have a dream, they have a vision, and they keep pushing through to get to that. And so I learned that the resilience, in fact, that they have is something that I should also always cultivate. And it turned out that I had to do that because during our journey, I fell ill. And that took me out of the program. But still, Georgina persisted. So I did learn that, rather than just give up, I also keep pushing. I could not, I would have just said that's the end of it. And then what I'm taking away from this is we can solve problems just a little bit at a time. We don't need to eat the whole elephant at once. Okay, and then again for me, time to think, community building, and Floria's consulting. I did learn quite a lot from all three of those. So our community building workshop that's just a picture of that, which we did enjoy very much. And then I'd also like to thank our team, our circle, as well as Nomfuzo, who were always there for us. We did learn a lot from each other, and just thank you for giving us this experience. Okay.